Hello candidates, I am going to dictate you a passage of 1000 words at the speed of 110 words per minute. So please get ready for the dictation. The dictation will start after 15 seconds. Sir, for the past 2 years or so, we have been extensively modernizing our procurement policies. At the beginning of this process, the requirement of equipment is assessed by the three forces. It is then addressed by a group consisting of the three vice chiefs, members from the DRDO, Defense Production, Finance, etc. All of them categorize the required equipment into make, buy and buy categories. The whole idea is that what can be made in India should be procured from our sources within India. On the other hand, if we require in bulk and we do not have the technology for it, then it is categorized as buy and make. That is, we buy some and then we produce with that technology transferred. Further, if the requirements are smaller or there is absolutely no way that we can have the requirement met in a short time frame, then we go for a categorizing that is known as buy. After this categorization, it is brought before the Defense Acquisition Council. This council is headed by the Raksha Mantri and has membership consisting of the two ministers of state, the three chiefs of staff and the secretaries. They approve these categories and thereafter it comes into the annual acquisition plans of each service. The report of the 𝐾𝐿 Committee on Review of Defense Procurement Procedure had recommended an integrated approach involving users, Ministry of Defense and the industry in the make procedure. DRDO should concentrate on projects requiring sophisticated technology of strategic, complex and security sensitive nature. Outsourcing of research and development work of high technology to private sectors should be on the lines of parallel development, for which the cost should be shared. A minimum order quantity to sustain the financial viability of development within the time schedule should be spelled out to encourage private sector participation. The recommendations of the committee have been accepted by the government for implementation. Provisions for sharing of technology, design and other related information with DRDO or ordnance factories or DPSU exists in the defense procurement procedure under buy and make decision. Such transfer of technology, etc. can take place from a foreign vendor to private industry or a joint venture also. Para 19 of DPP 2008 provides that production agency for TO2 could be selected from any public or private firms, including a joint venture. Field trials are the most important stage of procurement procedure. While all efforts are made to curtail the delay, field trial cannot be substituted by other methods in many cases. However, provision for trials by computers simultation exists in the defense procurement procedure. Further, wherever necessary, field trials are allowed to be conducted at vendor's site on a specific approval of the competent authority in view of the provisions under para 14 of DPP 2008 relating to formulation of SQRs and the requisite expertise available with services. No specific provision has been made in DPP 2008 to avail the services of private consultant or experts in finalizing SQRs. Even in the case of earlier one, it is yet to get fully operationalized. There is an exclusive provision of the private sector to be funded for what we call development leading to acquisition. It is like DRDO is doing. For example, DRDO today is not done any work on armored wheeled vehicle of 4x4 or 6x6. We are not doing it, but we have told to Mahindra or Ashok Leyland or whoever is it that we will give you this much free. As a scientific advisor, I have taken this decision. DRDO will only focus on certain special trials for missiles and things like that, and those for which reasonable design capability exists in India in terms of design of axle, wheels, brakes and engine appreciate modified. We are even willing share it. There are structural aspects of how to build armor design. Take the example of Mahindra. Let me just give you an illustration. If Mahindra feel that for that engine, let us say rehashed for a desert application, then that will be funded as a part of 80:20. It is only to bring a commitment from the industry that is 20% is being asked. In the past, DRDO used to take on most of the R&D projects. The new procedure enjoins upon them to go for a strategic system which others cannot make normally and which involves sensitive technology research. All other areas are open to research for private sector, in which the percentage is 80% by government and 20% by the private company whichever is taking up that R&D project. Where has this process stuck? This process has stuck at my level because what we are doing is we have now taken up the 11th plan. We have involved the DRDO and the services to see what is it that falls under the category of sensitive systems which DRDO will do. The balance have been identified. We are in the process of strengthening the headquarters because now the responsibility enjoins. Therefore, every system that we have to offload to the private sector, we have to do the feasibility study, whether this actually can be made, etc. Involves officers to sit with the industry, take their capabilities on board, which are as yet unknown in the defense field, and then based on the feasibility study, offload the research. Also based on the feasibility study, we are supposed to produce the project management team, which is also part of our strengthening, who will oversee the research project to be offloaded, so that we have a timeline process of the R&D. Having recognized the potential of some of the small and medium enterprises SMEs in the country, the government have decided to formulate a scheme for providing financial assistance to these enterprises to take up design and development work in the defense production. The committee urged the Ministry of Defense to take care that the scheme is finalized and implemented after due consultation with the agencies concerned, so that the potential of these enterprises is utilized to its optimum level without any loss of time.